Not so bad.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Major General Michael Garrett, Commanding General, United States Army, Alaska, I'd like to welcome you to the retirement ceremony of Sergeant First Class Dennis S. Cradle. Today, friends and soldiers of the 6th Engineer Battalion wish to pay tribute to Sergeant First Class Cradle. The retirement is an old and time-honored custom. In days past, when soldiers retired, the entire regiment turned out to honor him with a farewell review. In keeping with that custom, we joined together to recognize the career of this soldier who served his country with honor, duty, and devotion. The host for today's ceremony is Lieutenant Colonel William Conde, Commander, 6th Engineer Battalion. The official party for today's retirement ceremony is Lieutenant Colonel Conde, Command Sergeant Major Cavalier, and Chaplain Dumont. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the official party, the playing of our national anthem, and the invocation given by the 6th Engineer Battalion Chaplain, Chaplain Dale Dumont.
Please bow your heads with me in prayer. Lord of heaven and earth, on this special occasion, we thank you and praise you for watching over Sergeant First Class Dennis Cradle. In his years of military service in the United States Army, we thank you for using him to protect the precious freedoms of this country. We thank you for the many sacrifices he, his wife Rebecca, and his children Jessica and Dennis have made. Lord, now as they transition to enjoy the full benefits of faithful service, direct and protect the Cradle family, as they embark on this new journey, grant them new dreams that bring them unity and joy and meaning and purpose for each member, and bless their children, that they may grow in wisdom and stature for this nation. Lastly, allow us the courage as a unit and as a nation to serve them as they have served us. In your name I pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Remain seated for the remainder of the ceremony. Forewarned by Paul Revere, American militiamen fought 800 British troops on April 19, 1775. The battle broke out at Concord. 73 British soldiers were killed and over 200 were wounded. We Americans lost 49 soldiers and suffered 39 wounded. This marked the beginning of the Revolutionary War. 2 months later, on 14 June 1775, the Continental Army was established. Over the course of 6 years, the longest war in American history, the Continental Army participated in 21 battles, ending in Yorktown on 17 October, 1781. Since that first battle at Concord and Lexington, our Army has stood vanguard over the principles of freedom and the American principles for over 230 years. For generations, citizens have answered the call to arms when our country needed them most. The call to duty of Sergeant First Class Cradle we honor today is part of the long lineage of honorable service by those who choose to wear the uniform that has secured the liberties that all Americans cherish and possess today. Sergeant First Class Cradle started his career in 1993 as a combat engineer and has served in every leadership position up to Battalion Operations Sergeant. The Department of the Army has moved him and his family 5 times. He has re-enlisted 4 times and has answered our nation's call with a total of 2 combat tours to Iraq. Sergeant First Class Cradle is married to the former Rebecca Birchfield of Trinity, North Carolina. They've been married for 17 years, and they have 2 children, Jessica and DJ Cradle. Today we exercise our first general order and properly relieve him of his post as we bid him a fond farewell. We cannot repay him for his service, but we stand with him today to salute him for his dedication and commitment to our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in viewing a short video representing the career of Sergeant First Class Cradle and his family. Lieutenant Colonel Condi and Command Sergeant Major Cavalier would like to invite Sergeant First Class Dennis Cradle, along with his wife Rebecca, center stage to be presented his retirement award and retirement certificate, followed by the Presidential Certificate of Appreciation and the Army lapel pin for his dedicated and distinguished service to our nation. Mrs. Cradle is being presented a certificate of appreciation for her support and devotion to her spouse in the United States Army. Ladies and gentlemen, we remind you to please remain seated during the presentation of awards. Attention to orders. The United States of America, to all who shall see these presents, greeting. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by Executive Order 16 January 1969, has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal to Sergeant First Class Dennis Cradle, 2nd Engineer Brigade, for exceptionally meritorious service over a 20-year career serving in positions of increased responsibility, culminating as Assistant Operations Sergeant, 6th Engineer Battalion, Combat Airborne. Sergeant First Class Cradle's dedication to duty and commitment to excellence were instrumental in the command's success. Sergeant First Class Cradle's actions are in keeping with the highest standards of military service and reflect great credit upon himself, 2nd Engineer Brigade, the United States Army Alaska, and the United States Army. Signed, Major General Michael Garrett, Commander, United States Army Alaska. The United States Army Certificate of Retirement reads, Headquarters, Department of the Army Special Orders, by order of the Chief of Staff, United States Army, General Ray Odierno. The following individual, having served faithfully and honorably, is retired from the United States Army, effective 1 October 2013. Sergeant First Class Dennis Cradle. Signed, General Ray Odierno, Chief of Staff of the Army. The Presidential Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Sergeant First Class Cradle for his professional, loyal, and dedicated service, which reads, I extend to you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps, and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Barack Obama, Commander-in-Chief. Sergeant First Class Cradle is receiving the Army lapel pin to be worn as a lasting reminder of his honorable and distinguished service to his country. To symbolize his final retreat ceremony, we present the national colors as a tribute to Sergeant First Class Dennis Cradle on the occasion of his retirement. The Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Mrs. Rebecca Cradle, which reads, Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation. To all who shall see these presents, greeting. This is to certify that Mrs. Rebecca Cradle, on the occasion of the retirement of her husband from active status with the United States Army, has earned grateful appreciation for her own unselfish, faithful, and devoted service. Her unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible her husband's lasting contribution to the nation. Signed, General Ray Odierno, Chief of Staff of the Army. Sergeant First Class Cradle is presenting Mrs. Cradle with flowers for her understanding, loving support, and devotion throughout his career. Private First Class Gould is presenting Jessica and DJ Cradle with Army Brat coins and a 6th Engineer Battalion coin to ensure that they're recognized during this momentous occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce Lieutenant Colonel William Conde, Battalion Commander, 6th Engineer Battalion.
Good morning. Hey, let's try that again. Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, friends and families of the Arctic Sapper Battalion, I'd like to thank you all for joining us today to honor the Cradle family for over 20 years of faithful service to our nation. It is truly my honor to preside over this ceremony as we bid farewell to the Cradles and they enter into a new chapter of their lives. Sergeant First Class Dennis Cradle, as Sergeant Burgess mentioned, entered the Army back in 1993. And for most of you, likely for Dennis too, this seems like almost a lifetime in past history. For some of us old seasoned guys, 1993 was just around the last corner. Jurassic Park was the #1 movie. Ain't Going Down by Garth Brooks was the #1 country song. Bill Clinton became the 42nd President of the United States. The Chicago Bulls pulled a three-peat for the 3rd straight national title. Those were the good days. Dennis Cradle hails from Titusville, Pennsylvania, where he was born and raised. Private Cradle enlisted in the Army in July of '93 as a combat engineer, attended 1 station unit training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and then arrived at his first duty station at Camp Nimble, Korea, with the storied 2nd Engineer Battalion, Sapper Steel. For the next 18 years, the Army moved Sergeant First Class Cradle across the world, serving with great units and our country's finest men and women. He was with the 326 Engineer Battalion at Campbell as a team leader and spent 6 months in the Sinai. During his assignment at Campbell, he met and married his lovely wife of now 17 years, Rebecca. They PCS'd to Germany to serve with the 54th Engineer Battalion as a squad leader, and Dennis got his first experience with the fabled AVLBs, and also graduated from the French demining school, which sounds a bit sporty to me. The Cradles were blessed with their first child, Jessica, who was born in Bamberg, Germany. And the Cradles served 5 years after that at Fort Stewart, Georgia, fought in 2 combat tours in Iraq, first during the initial invasion of '03 with a 3rd ID, and then again in '05 around Samara and MSR Tampa. He also deployed to Kosovo as a squad leader to conduct security patrols and force protection missions. Then the Army hand-selected Dennis to be a drill sergeant and drill sergeant instructor and sent him to Fort Jackson, where he trained hundreds of our soldiers and NCOs from '06 to '09. The Cradles were again blessed with the birth of their son, Dennis Jr., who was born in Columbia, South Carolina, the son of a drill sergeant. DJ, must have been tough times as a young sapper, and probably even tougher for your sister Jessica, I would imagine. As I have seen several times now, the Army moved the cradles up the Alcan into the last frontier. And this assignment will be their last one in uniform. Sergeant Cradle has been with the 6th Engineer Battalion for almost 4 years and is what we call an artifact. He has been with this battalion and seen it grow from its early days. He has seen several command teams come and go. He has served in several companies and in many positions, and is as familiar to us as a unit crest that we wear on our beret. When we need an expert to explain the capabilities of the SUSB to the Chief of Staff of the Army or a congressional delegation, we turn to Cradle. When we need advice on a unique airborne operation up at DTA or in the mountains, Geronimo DZ, we ask for his recommendations and his input. When we were asked about the F-22 Raptor recovery mission and how it was done, we seek his knowledge and experience. The Cradles have been part of our Sapper family for longer than anyone here today, and we are truly grateful for their dedication, service, and commitment to our team. So, as we send you on the next field of friendly strife, I would like to thank you, Dennis, Rebecca, Jessica, and DJ, for your honorable service to our nation, for the many sacrifices you have made along the past 20-year journey. Your contributions and efforts are exceptionally honorable and will be felt through the next generation of our soldiers and our families. On behalf of the entire Arctic Sapper team, I wish you Godspeed and safe travels along your new journey and next chapter in life. Congratulations on retirement, and thank you for your service. Arctic Warriors, Trailblazers, Arctic Sappers,
Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant First Class Dennis Cradle.
Good morning. Thank you, friends and family, distinguished guests, and soldiers of the Arctic Sapper Battalion. I'd always said that I wasn't going to be one of those people who would give a big, long speech if I was in a situation to give one, so I'm going to try my best to stick to that. 20 years of active duty federal service comes to a close for me soon, and for my family. And it would not have been possible to make it that far without God in my life. And I thank Him for providing me the strength to make it this far. I got to extend a special thank you to Lieutenant Mark Worth. He took the time out of his personal time to make the slideshow, and I thought it was pretty awesome, so thank you, sir. Colonel Connie, Sergeant Major Cavalier, thanks for the opportunity to serve this great battalion. My hope is that I'm leaving it a little bit better than it was when I joined it, and thank you for the opportunity. To the soldiers of the 6th Engineer Battalion, you are the finest group of soldiers that I've had the opportunity and the pleasure to work with throughout my entire career. I thank you all so much for being here and sharing this occasion with my family and I. Thank you. Gloria Larson, thank you so much for coming up here and to visit with us and sharing this occasion. You've been a great friend to us for a long time, and we certainly appreciate it. I guess it would be bad of me if I didn't extend a special thank you to my mom, who unfortunately is not here. She's in Pennsylvania. She couldn't make it up here. Mom, you're amazing and have been awesome. You've loved support for me, not just for the past 20 years, but for my whole life. Told myself I wouldn't cry. Jesse and DJ, I know I missed out on a lot. Some birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easters, and other important events. And although I know we can't get that time back, I promise I'll do my best to make up for the time we lost. Becky, I love you, sweetheart. You're my best friend, my rock, my voice of reason, the smile on my face, my reason for being the best I can, and my better half in every sense. I could not have made it through the last 17 years without you as my support. And thank you so much for that. Again, Arctic Sapper Battalion, thank you all for being here, and God bless you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the playing of Old Soldiers Never Die, Old Lang Syne, and the singing of the Usarak March and the Army Song. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please join Lieutenant Colonel Condi and Command Sergeant Major Cavalier by filing from the front of the theater to congratulate Sergeant First Class Cradle and his wife Rebecca on their retirement from active duty, and wish them well in the next chapter of their lives. Thank you.